There's a lot of talk in astrological circles about the very tense T-square with powerfully challenging planets that's going to happen this weekend. We have Mars, we have Uranus, we have Saturn, we have the Moon moving through Taurus to trigger this T-square. I want to talk about Venus's hidden power to mitigate greatly the most negative effects of this very tense moment. The video I made for this week's astrology, there was a component that I didn't include that I think is too important to not make a quick video on, and that's Venus, the power of Venus to offer us a solace, comfort, and a way through whatever challenges you're facing out there as a result of Uranus, the planet of explosive upheaval and lightning change. In Taurus will be squaring Mars in Leo and Saturn in Aquarius. Mars, the planet of revolt and upheaval and very Uranian in a way, sometimes even shaking and violence even. Saturn opposing Mars, the planet of lack and sadness and depression. These three are being mixed up in our most challenging and difficult astrological aspects. The square, which is like squaring off, you're fighting in a boxing ring, or two people running for the same point and colliding from maybe a direct competition. That might be a good way to think about the square. And then the opposition is where you're running right into someone, where two people are blocking each other. Mars says, "You're not coming this way, Saturn," and Saturn says, "Oh, watch me, I am." And then their powers match off and sort of collide. There's a great collision with the opposition. So we have the most difficult astrological aspects, some of the most difficult planets in terms of the shocks that they can bring and the challenges they can bring. And then the Moon, the great trigger, will be moving through here on the 4th, on Sunday, the 4th of July. And the Moon comes through and hits those exact same degrees, activating this very difficult astrological placement and challenging moment. I want to just first walk through some of the key dates in this timeline and then talk a little bit about what Venus can maybe do for you this weekend. And mainly I want maybe to help get our heads around, mine included, the energetic potency of Venus's help and aid. And knowing that, we may be able to prepare better for this weekend. First, Venus comes in on Friday at about 5 a.m. in Central Europe. Venus enters its Egyptian term. And some of you who aren't as familiar with traditional astrology, the Egyptian terms are held up by a lot of ancient astrologers as almost equivalent in power to domicile rulership. That is to say, we think about the Moon rules Cancer, and so the Moon likes to be in Cancer. Well, every planet of the 5 non-luminary traditional planets in every sign has a zone of degrees, their term, right? Think about it like a term of an office holder has a term. Well, each of these 5 planets, Mars, Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, and Venus, have a term of rulership during their transit through each sign. And they get very strong and powerful such that they can access their power and give their power to whatever they're responsible for in the chart during the term of their rulership in every sign. And so you can just think about this as like Venus being very strong this week and starting Friday morning. And we'll have access to Venus, this sun-ruled Venus, this fiery Venus. Venus being in its own term lasts all weekend into early next week. But the reason why it's so important is that Venus is responsible for Taurus by domicile. And so Venus disposes of both the Moon, the trigger of the T-square, of the intense T-square, and Uranus, the outer planet of upheaval and shock that is so close in degrees with Mars and Saturn, as they're separating from their opposition, which happens Thursday. So Venus is not only, it's ruling 2 of the planets that are involved in the T-square moment. And it's worth knowing that those planets can lean in and rely greatly on a Venus in Leo, making an aspect, the square aspect, making an aspect to all of the planets in the T-square. Venus is involved in the T-square. I believe the Mars, Saturn, Uranus are all in the 13th or 14th degrees of their respective signs. The Moon will come through all of those degrees, and Venus is in the 9th degree of Leo during all of this, I believe. Right in the mix there, very close, mixing with these planets and really offering these planets its love. So just to point out here, on the 4th, this is what happens. This is in order of time. Mars and Uranus will perfect a square. The moon will square Venus. The moon will square Saturn. The moon will conjoin Uranus, and then the moon will square Mars. That's all on the 4th of July. So that's the technical side of it. What does this mean then for you this weekend? Well, Venus, what can it bring? What does Venus mean? And what does it kind of hope can it offer? Well, music. Music might be a way out this weekend. Maybe you can play or sing or put music on if the stress is overwhelming. Beauty, cleaning yourself, bathing, putting on your nice things as a way to feel more confident about yourself. Remember, Leo is the sign of the fixed identity. Venus is there filtering through that. So you might want to just think about what can you do later Friday, Saturday, Sunday to feel more confident, you know? I mean, grooming is an important part of life. Is there something you haven't done or you've been waiting on doing, or even something simple, you know? What do you have? Nicer jewelry? I've talked about that a lot in my videos, but anything you can do to just feel more powerful and more confident. And I think about the outer, the physical adornment is really a reflection of your inner soul, right? The power of your soul, the dignity and the inherent stature that you have as a human soul incarnated into this realm. And so when we use the outer adornment, it's a reflection of an inner light, and we can shine our light sometimes more strongly. Venus is also, so singing, it's beauty and adornment. Venus is all kinds of pleasures. You know, maybe you want to schedule this Sunday instead of going out and lighting fireworks when it's extremely hot. Maybe you want to stay in and do something that you enjoy, and really ask yourself that. What do I like? What do I enjoy? And say, I'm gonna prioritize that on Sunday, and even starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday, while Venus is strong in its Egyptian term in Leo, and while the moon comes here into Taurus. It's Saturday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, 1500 in the afternoon, the moon enters Taurus. So this Friday, Saturday, Sunday moment this week with Venus strong in its Egyptian term, the moon now is being ruled by Venus. What do we have here? Music, adornment and beauty, relationship, things you just like to do, what makes you feel good. You know, if the foods that you like to eat. The moon in Taurus is about food. The body is the moon. You know, eating food is pleasurable. We have the taste buds. So that's what I would think about going into a very challenging moment of astrology, using this Venus as your sort of ace in the hole, or as your great protectress during what would otherwise be a very difficult time. That's this video. So have a wonderful rest of this week, maybe a challenging, triggering week. Stay safe out there, use your Venus. The powers that the Venus in your chart has embedded in you by virtue of incarnating into this realm where the planets rule parts of our lives. Use that and enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, stay strong. As always, you can schedule astrology readings with me, sjanderson144.com. Just click here to schedule a reading. It's right at the top. You can support me on Patreon if you're so inclined. I'm very grateful for your support. And take care. I'll talk to you very soon.